Good morning, everyone. I am going to apologize at the start for my voice. It has been kind of rough the last few days. I was not feeling very well on the weekend. Thankfully, I do not have COVID. I did test myself, and on Sunday when I was feeling lousy. And as far as I know, I don't have COVID. It's a very throat ear kind of thing, and I'm actually not really coughing, but anyway, I feel okay enough today to do a live, and I am sorry about my voice. If you are a fan of the show Friends from a couple of decades ago, I remember there was an episode where Phoebe had a cold, and she had like a husky sort of voice, and she had that song Smelly Cat, right? And so I'm going to channel my inner Phoebe today and try and get through this without too much trouble. And so we are going to be doing Casing Tuesday today, as always, and I'll probably keep my comments shorter if possible, just so that I can rest my voice. So let's have a look at today's card. Okay, let me move my head out of the way. So this is a very straightforward card. It has your standard card base. It has a designer series paper layer in the middle, and then has a line going across it. Now, with every card that you do in this challenge, you can delete layers, you can change the size of layers to suit your purposes. This is a starting point. This is your inspiration piece. So it's up to you how closely you follow the challenge. And on any given week, I may follow it closer than others. And today I think I went a little tiny bit rogue, but I tried to keep some of the pieces in there. And so here is the sketch for today. So you can see some very basic card design. I think it works really well. If you want to keep it really simple, just do a piece of designer series paper for that middle layer, and then just do a long skinny greeting going across. And I think that will look really great. So I'll show you what I did, and you may have already seen when you got my email this morning. Here is my card, and I love this card. It's kind of bright and cheery, unlike my voice. This is from the Coneflower Celebrations bundle, and this I'm going to show you in a second, but this bottom layer of the coneflower lifts up, and you can actually use it for like a secret message or an extra message. For mine, since I didn't need that space, I used mini dimensionals, and I kept mine shut. It's just going to have like a little bit more dimension because it is a folded over piece. So to make the coneflower, it's three different pieces. The bottom, kind of a card basey type layer, a detailed layer, and the top layer. And then for the leaves, it's also three pieces. It's a stem and two leaves, or you can do die cut leaves as well. It's just whatever you prefer. But this is such a pretty floral to put on a card front, and it takes up so much space that you don't really have room for too much else, so it can just be the star of its own show. I did do a party banners card base, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And it's a really nice way to step up your card without too much extra work. Just one run through the die machine, and you've got yourself your card base. And so it's a really nice card base with a beautiful floral on the front. And I'm going to show you how to make that. So I did also want to mention today we have a June Stampin' Up special, and that is for sweets and sweet products. Now, this Coneflower Celebrations bundle is not part of a suite. A bundle usually is a stamp set with a die. Not always. Last week we did a set that was there's two dies, the party banners dies and the party alphabet dies are also in a bundle, and they are not part of a suite. So this is not in a suite, so it will not be part of the special. But there are many products that fall under a suite or are a suite product, and they are buy one, get one 50% off. So it's a really good deal, but you need to be a little bit careful with how you place your order. If there are two suites that you're interested in, I would place them on an order. And I would, if you wanted to include any other suite products that were cheaper in price, like an embellishment or paper that are single, if you have two suites on your order, I would not put those ones on your order because they will be counted as the lowest priced item. So if I were going to do two suites, you can see how it plays out in your cart because it will show you what it's taking the percentage off. Just make sure it is taking the 50% off the item that you think you want 50% off. It will be the lowest priced item. So if there's two suites and one is 70 and one is 80, it's going to take the 50% off the $70 suite rather than the $80 suite. But you don't want to take it off an $8 embellishment if you also are buying a $70 suite. So you just need to be a little bit careful when you look at your order. Make sure the 50% is coming off the product that you want. If not, you might need to place two different orders, or you might need to, you probably will need to just place two different orders if you want to do, say you want to buy a bunch of embellishments. You could do all of those on one order, and then they take 50% off of each other. It makes so much more sense. So if you need help with that at all, I would be happy to figure out the best way to maximize your order for you. I know it sounds complicated, but it is a really good sale, especially if you want to buy two suites. It is a terrific sale, and it's going on now until the end of June. Just keep in mind, especially for the suites, that certain products might sell out. And then the suite will no longer be available until we get those products back in stock. So especially with suites, I would not wait until the end of the month to place your order. I will look to see today, is there anything that I want? And place your order like sooner rather than later to make sure that you get your discount. All right. I'm going to jump into my card. I'm sorry you have to listen to my voice. I don't even like to listen to my voice right now. But the good news is I am feeling, each day I feel a little bit better. So that is good. All right. Let me switch over to my other side here. I thought today we would make this coneflower in a different color. Now, coneflowers do come in this yellow orangey color. I looked up coneflowers yesterday, and there was a name for this one. I'm gonna look it up if I can while everything, this might be difficult. Let me shove some things aside. It's always hard to get back, and here we go. So there was the yellow orange one. I thought I saw a name. Oh, it's called parrot coneflower, and but this is not the typical color. They often come in purple, so we're gonna do like a purpley coneflower today. So just so you know, on my supply list down below, I have listed Darling Duckling, which is the color that I used here, and Granny Apple Green. And you might be surprised to know that this top piece was also Darling Duckling. I sponged my pieces with strawberry slush to create kind of that yellow going into pinky orange look. So we're going to do the same thing with our purple one, because coneflowers do have kind of this radiant color that kind of comes out. So we're going to try and emulate that. All right. To do this, let's take a look real quick at the bundle. This is the Coneflower Celebrations bundle. It comes with 10 dies, and it comes with this stamp set. So you can, it's really interesting. If you want to stamp this, you can cut it out with this. This is a standalone die. These leaves and the stem can be cut out with the dies over here. So, and then the butterfly can be stamped and cut out. So you have a lot of options for how you put these together. And also I love that. I always love bundles that come with greetings as well as images. Okay, and then we use the party banners dies on Friday, and we made that cute little box. Well, we're going to be using these a lot, so I really feel like party banners is definitely something that you want. You might also want to consider getting the party alphabet, and don't forget, if you want to get these as a bundle, party banners and party alphabet, buy them as a bundle so you can save 10%, because the alphabet alone, the dies are $99. So it really is much more economical to get the 10% off for this big die bundle set. Okay, we're going to be doing a bunch of die cutting, so let me grab my big machine. You will need the big machine if you want to make this card base. So we're gonna grab our die cutting machine. We need base platform number 1. I've got a lot of things on my desk. Let's remove some. The thin die adapter number 2. We're gonna need a cutting plate for the bottom, and then we'll just reserve this here over on the side for the top. We are going to grab, I've already kind of pre-cut a card base. So this one, normally we do, if I do kind of a top folding card, I do 11 by 4 1/4. But my banners, for this one, I'm going to be using the banner that cuts about 4 1/16. So this is an 11" by 4 1/16 piece. So if you don't know what 4 1/16 is, just go one tick above 4 inches, but not all the way to 4 1/8. And that will be just right in between 4 and 4 1/8 is 4 1/16. Then you're going to score at the 5.5 inch mark, and you're going to fold it. It is good if you can take a bone folder and just give it a little press so that it stays as flat as possible. Then we are going to take this die, and I want to show you, there are a lot of dies, a lot of party banner dies. This one is the 5th largest, but just so you know, so you can double check, the die you want to use is the one that measures 4 1/4 inches across, like all the way from end to end. Not what it's actually going to die cut, but what the width of it is. It's 4 1/4. Okay. So what we're going to do then is we're going to fit this around the card, making sure that your folded line is inside the die. The die cannot rest on top of this piece, otherwise it's going to cut the fold. And you're just going to fit this around the piece, because this opening is 4 1/16, so we're only going to be cutting the bottom with this. I like this bottom because it is curved, a little bit curved, so I like how this cuts it. It would be very hard to do this with scissors because your scissors wouldn't give you that curved look. So we're going to run this through. And here you go. We've got our little banner. Okay, let's set that aside. We have to do some more die cutting, so let's just go ahead and do a bunch of die cutting right now. I'm going to grab all the pieces I need for the coneflower. So this is the piece that cuts that folded piece for the coneflower, where you can write a secret message. This is the detailed coneflower piece. And then we're also going to need this little top piece right here. And I'll just run these through. It's nice that with the big machine you can fit all the pieces as you're cutting them and just do it in one swoop. All right. So here we go. This is the folded piece. Just folds like that. This is the detail piece. Need to coax it out a bit. If you find that your detail dies are sticking at all, remember, just give them a little rub with a crumpled up ball of wax paper, and that will help release them for future. And then we've got this little piece. Okay, we need to do some more die cutting, but I need to do some stamping first. So let's get rid of those. And let's put the machine away for just 1 second. Let's grab some Granny Apple Green cardstock. All right, this is some scrap paper. So we're going to grab our Granny Apple Green. This is such a bright, lovely green. And we're going to stamp. You know what? I might be able to fit these on here. Just won't be able to run them through at the same time, probably. Let's just go ahead. So I could also die cut these leaves, and if I can find the leaves that I die cut earlier, I will show you what those look like. But I decided to go with a flatter look for the leaves and have my effort, my floral loveliness, the head of the flower, be the center of attention. Okay, so let's go ahead, grab the machine once more. This is the same sandwich. I'm just grabbing the dies because I kind of just dumped everything onto here. Okay. We're going to use some Post-it and labeling cover-up tape. This is just to hold the dies in place so they don't shift while I'm die cutting. Did anyone ever watch that episode of Friends with Phoebe when she lost her voice, or her voice went hoarse? And then she really liked the sound of her voice for singing. And then she wanted to get sick again so she could have her voice back. That will not be the case with me. I prefer my original voice. Okay. I always found Phoebe to be so funny and quirky. All right, I am pinning all of those down. I did manage to get them all on there if you leave enough space, you can probably do them in one go. But if you stamp them too closely together, then the dies won't fit around each piece. All right, let's peel these off. So you could also not stamp these and have these be plain, but the stamping adds a little bit of texture. So that's kind of fun. So there's usually ways to simplify things, you know, depending on how many cards you need to do. Sometimes you can't do all the details, right? So with this card though, I was able to drop those dies over there. And oh, we need to die cut one more thing while we're here. See this background paper? We're going to cut a banner. We're going to use the banner that is just a little bit smaller, the next size down from the one we used for the card base. And this one measures 4 inches across, and I believe it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th largest. And pop this on here, pop this on here. Now this one we're going to cut out the whole entire thing. So I just cut a piece of paper to fit that size. And I'm putting it on a bit of an angle because it helps it go through the machine. If you have the space, it's always better not to put a straight line going straight. You know, your brain wants to do that to be, you know, so things are crooked, but it's not what's easiest for you to crank through the machine. So this is just another banner that we're going to layer. I hope that the colors I chose look good. If not, we might have to go back to the drawing board. I just had this vision. Whenever I create cards with different colors, I like them all to kind of have the same kind of theme. And I don't know if that's going to be too much purple. Is Marianne on here this morning? No, she isn't on here yet. Marianne on my team. Oh, and also Alicia. They're my purple girls. They love purple. So I think they would appreciate this card. Okay, so let's work with these pieces first. You're going to need a straw piece of paper for starters. And, one other thing I want to do, grab your Stampin' Pierce mat or a soft foam mat and grab this little guy here. And I'm going to use, although it has gone missing, let's see if I can find an extra one. I have 2 over by my scoring station. I'm going to turn this to the back side and use the thin or the small ball of my stylus from my Simply Scored. And I'm just going to press on all of those little, I don't know what you call them, little dimples. Just give them a little press, because that is going to give this even more texture, just to kind of give them, to press those out. I feel I did that with this one. Okay, so it just pop them out just a little bit more. It's a very subtle thing you can do. You don't have to. Okay, and then we are going to sponge this. Now, I tested this out this morning. I was like, do I do purple on purple? But the Coneflowers that I saw have this strawberry color. So we're going to use strawberry. We're going to see how that goes. We're going to see how that looks. It could be a horrible experiment, but let's test it out. Okay, you want to get some of that color off because you want to really start light. It's just kind of start light. Now remember that top part's going to be covered, so you might question me at this point. That's okay. Question me all you like. And we're going to go down just a little bit more. Maybe I should have done that first. Okay, so we're going to just kind of stick this on here. You can see how that looks. We do also want to do this piece that's underneath it because it will look funny otherwise. So we're also going to do this. We'll just kind of drag this down. Let's see how that looks. It's a little bit of trial and error, right? I think I need to go a little bit higher with my purple, so let's go back. Not purple, strawberry. Strawberry. Let's see how that looks. Starting to come together. So let's do this little guy here. This one, this center, it should pretty much not look purple anymore because the coneflower center is, on a purple coneflower, is not purple. At least the variety I'm looking at right now. So I think that looks pretty good. Now we're gonna just kind of see, how does that all look together? Okay, I think I need to start a little bit higher on this as well. So let's go back in. I don't want like a gap. Okay. All right, I think this is going to be it right here. And that is going down. You know what? I think I want it a little darker. I think I want this top piece just a teeny tiny bit darker. I'm going to have pink fingers, aren't I? All right, yes, I like the look of that. That looks good. Okay, so this is just a sponge dauber. I have chosen to make this one strawberry slush, and I will always just keep using it for strawberry slush. And then we're just going to go ahead and I'm not going to put glue all the way down on the petals because I want them to have the ability to kind of lift up a little bit. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of glue coming down just a tiny bit onto the petals, and then we're just going to glue this. Easiest way is just to kind of feel with your fingers and make sure it's lining up where that flower center is going to go. Give it a little squeeze, and then we're going to take this and I looked at the flowers. The little things that come off of it kind of point up. So whenever I do flowers, when they're like kind of a realistic flower that Stampin' Up! Has chosen in a bundle, I always Google images of the flower. Just because I just want it to have kind of a realistic look. I mean, you could choose not to be realistic, right? That's a choice too in art. But I find I always kind of start with a realistic look. So you can leave this and have it be like an opening, or you can put 2 dimensionals. I'm going to leave this one open just so you can see how it looks on the card. But if I were to put mini dimensionals or dimensionals, I would just put one here and one here. And the reason for that is that way I can stick my stem in the center And if it's a closed card, then there's room for me to maneuver the stem around. Now for this one, since I'm planning on leaving it open, when I put the glue on this one, I'm going to leave this section in the center without glue so I can shove my stem underneath and still make it look good. Okay. Let's pop those away. Okay. Let's place this on my piece and see if we like it. I don't think I'm going to like the other. I know I'm kind of going purple and purple, but to me it made sense because, you know, look at my yellow and yellow card. It does kind of look nice, right? So let's just piece these in here and see if things want to stick to my fingers. Before I glue down that paper, I need to make sure that I'm happy with what I have decided to do. Yeah, I think that looks good, right? It's, especially if you were going to give this as a card set, I think that will look really cool. But anyway, let's pop those off. Let's just do this. This is pretty paper too, right? So with if you were going to do it kind of more towards the original card, the Casing Tuesday card, you could do this, right? And then have a skinny banner piece. I have these pre-cut for my greeting that I'm going to put there, but you could do like a long skinny greeting right across there, like that. And then you could have like the original card a little bit closer, but we're not going to do that because I have changed up the card. And we're going to take this and pop this onto here. All right. Then we're going to glue this down. I'm going to need a new glue bottle soon. Okay. And I'm going to angle it. I like the way I did it on the first card, so I'm just going to try and mimic that. My very purpley card. Oh, and I put glue right where I said I shouldn't put glue, so I'm going to lift this up real quick. Tricky, tricky. Before it glues down all the way. Oh, no. Please lift up. Okay. All right. If I had done it in the center, I wouldn't have that problem, but okay. All right, that worked. See, now it looks proper, right? And on this one, I don't know if you can see them, but you can probably see them a little bit. There's one dimensional and there's the other. You can see them in the center of the card. So it just kind of depends what you want to do. So it's kind of nice. Oh, and this I also want to kind of lift up and tuck behind. It's kind of nice that we only needed one ink color, right, to create this card. Now, before I stick this second leaf on, I want to make sure I get my greeting right. So let's grab a little piece of cardstock. This is 2 3/8 by 3/8. Strawberry slush here. And we're going to use the same greeting because I like it. You made my day, also stamped in strawberry slush. And it's so cute, right? Oh, I love it. So just by changing out our cardstock, we could just create that look that we wanted. And it's like 2 different types of coneflower or varieties. Okay, and then we're going to come in with this. And we might need our piercer tool. And I'll lift this up a bit. Because I kind of want it to come from behind the stem. And just work that in like that. Ha! How pretty is that? Like, isn't that pretty? And then you can write like a secret message inside here. And then you have lots of room to write more in here. That's so nice. I love it. I love the way it came out because I kind of put the purple cardstock, laid it on there earlier, and I'm like, will this actually work out? Like, will this look ugly? I was just thinking to myself, or will this work? You know, because sometimes it does not work because it is a little bit of a busy cardstock or a designer series paper. Both of them have white, and so I think it works because the flower itself is a solid color. So having the white in the background is okay. If this were stamped and colored and was showing white space, I don't think it would look as nice. I think with the die cutting, I think it looks really good. The one thing, if you wanted to, I'm just being critical, but I actually like the way it turned out. If you wanted to, if you had another color, you could, if say Granny Apple Green, could have added just a little bit, maybe sponging around the edges of the center here and just deepened it just to make it pop just a teeny tiny bit more. But I'm not at all unhappy with the way that turned out, but it's kind of cute. So, you know, if you don't want that secret like opening, you can just put the dimensional shut, and it's nice because it does give extra dimension to the card without really any additional work except for putting those two dimensionals in there. But if you want that like little area where you can write like a little special message, you know, that is super cool too, because it does totally give dimension as well. So I hope you liked those cards. I think what I especially liked, oh, I need to come back to eCam here. Okay, here we go. What I especially liked is doing it on the banner die, because it looks a little bit prettier. You could, if you don't have the banner die, just use a regular card base, that's fine, but that adds just a little something to it that didn't add very much work to it at all, you know, just that extra couple of die cuts, one for the card base and one for the designer series paper there. So very cool. If you've gotten this far and you're not already subscribed to me, my voice does not always sound like this, so I hope you will subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a like and leave me a comment, and I would appreciate all of those things. Usually on Tuesdays, I do a card for Casing Tuesday, and then on Fridays, I do a fun 3D thing, or sometimes it's also a fancy full card, but I love especially creating 3D things for you, so those are new every single week. Let's say hello to all of you who have joined me today, and I'm gonna try and keep it short so I don't torture you with my voice. Hello, Marge. Hello, Nancy. Hello, cutie puppies. Marty says it's a beautiful morning in Pittsburgh, and she says she can't wait to see me make the card. Aw, I know, my poor voice, it sounds awful. I had to cancel team stamping on Friday. I did my, if you listen back to Friday, I was already starting to feel my voice. There was something wrong. You could hear a hint of raspiness in my voice. And by the time I finished that, I was like really wiped. And I was like, can I do team stamping tonight? And I couldn't. I was like really sleepy. And so I postponed it. We're going to still do team stamping. We're going to do it this weekend instead with our team. And we're going to just do it an hour before the team meeting. So we'll still get some stamping in. But I just, yeah. it did not work for me. Hello, Deirdre. Good morning, and Alita. Hello, another Mary. Patty says she hopes I feel better soon. Thank you. Hello, Mommy Roo. Oh, Mary says she bought the dies and waiting for her order to come in. Awesome. Hello, Ellie. Hello, Sil. Hello, Jude. She said she just got this set yesterday. Perfect timing. Awesome. Hello, Cynthia. She says she just loves the colors. Hello, Valerie. She says very cute card. And Marty says the purple is gorgeous. You know, I really like the way it came out. And I really, if you look up the Coneflower colors, they do kind of go to that reddish purple, kind of near the center, so it did really work well with both of them to use the strawberry slush to bring in that purpley pink look. Hello, Diane. Marty says she loves the designer series paper with the flowers too. It worked out well this time. Cutie Puppy says they are both stunning. Thank you. Mary says pretty cards. Nancy says, double thumbs up for working with a voice issue. Yeah, this would be a great time for me to dub my video with AI with a better voice, maybe. Oh, Judy says, happy to subscribe. Well, thank you. Thank you for being my latest subscriber. And especially if you love 3D things, Jude, you will find that every single week I do that. And on Tuesdays, Casing Tuesday is great. And I should mention this for people who are new here. Casing Tuesday is more than just me copying a card out of the catalog. It is a Facebook group where you can share your card that you've made. It is a super great exercise for you to do, whether you're a beginner or whether you're someone more seasoned like myself, because it gets you out of your comfort zone. I don't pick the cards each week. I do get to pick a few cards during each year, but we have a group of us who work on this project together. So it's not always my card pick. So it is a challenge for me too, truly, because the cards that are picked are not always my style. And so it gets me out of my comfort zone. It is a great exercise. It will improve your stamping a lot. I feel like if you do this every week, that's like, we don't stop for Christmas either. We probably schedule our posts, right? When we're with family or on vacation or stuff. But, we go 52 weeks per year. So this is like an ongoing thing that we do all year round. And it's just a great exercise for all of us. Hello, Linda. Hello, Marge. And Peanuts and Peppers Paper Crafting says, your card is so beautiful and you've enabled me to get this bundle. Aw, and she says, I hope you feel better soon. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. And she posted something in French too. And I am not very good with French. I had a little bit of French at school, but thank you for posting. And Marge says, feel better, Brenda, and rest your voice. Yeah, I have a few more days before I have my Friday tutorial, and hopefully by Friday, I will be sounding back to my normal Brenda self. All right, guys, thank you so much for bearing with me this morning. I hope you have a great week, and I hope to see some of you on Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.